This week on Small Town Big Deal, peanuts, parades.
He's a celebrity.
The what?
Celebrity?
Celebrity.
Yes.
And a president of the United States of America.
Join us as we go nuts
I was gonna say flame.
for a crunchable, lunchable,
Cheers.
munchable treat. Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl. You know, on our show, we can get a little nutty.
And today, in keeping with that tradition, we're honoring the peanut.
It can be crunchy, creamy, or even candied.
But in a nutshell, it's a food that is fun as it is fundamental.
Like hundreds of small town parades, this one in Georgia has music, fire trucks, and beauty queens.
With the baby myth and the teen myth.
And more beauty queens. Lots of beauty queens.
But in every small town parade, there's always a touch of local flavor. In this case, it's the flavor of peanuts.
Peanut queens, a peanut mascot, peanuts flying through the air, and the fabulous Nutmobile. It's all part of the Plains Peanut Festival in Plains, Georgia, where the peanut is clearly king.
Plains is about 150 miles south of Atlanta on Georgia's coastal plain. It's a tiny town with a population of only 776 people. And one of those residents is perhaps the most famous peanut farmer in the history of the world.
Jimmy Carter became the 39th President of the United States and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize.
And Plains, Georgia is one of the only towns that I know of that somebody can come into Plains and have the opportunity to meet the ex-president.
Yeah.
Because he's on the street a lot.
Now, well into his 90s, no president has lived as long as Jimmy Carter. He serves as a walking advertisement for the healthy benefits of eating peanuts.
One of the things you have to do is to start eating peanuts when you're young. And keep eating peanuts all your life.
The limousine that carried President Carter and his family on Inauguration Day is part of the parade. But that presidential moment was 40 years and a world away from the farm where Jimmy Carter grew up. Today, it's part of the Jimmy Carter National Historic Site.
This really shaped his youth, and particularly this home. Growing up here, the way this farm is set up is the way it appeared in 1937. That's the year before they got electricity.
Compared to other people living in rural Georgia during the Great Depression, the Carters were relatively well off. They owned a good-sized farm and ran a small community store.
Out in the fields, the mix of crops was changing. Cotton had been losing its grip on the local economy.
Even back during the Depression, cotton was still the #1 cash crop. But the problem was there was an overabundance of cotton. Also, cotton depleted the soil. And one of the important things that Earl Carter actually did was he planted the first commercial crop of peanuts out here in Sumter County.
From humble beginnings, the peanut crop has grown and grown. Today, the state of Georgia, just on its own, grows about half of the nation's annual peanut crop.
In Plains, they're celebrated everywhere. From a smiling peanut statue to the town's primary purveyor of peanut paraphernalia, Plain Peanuts.
There are stacks of sacks full of roasted peanuts, sriracha-flavored fried peanuts, peanut-shaped Christmas tree ornaments, and t-shirts to commemorate the time you went nuts in Plains, Georgia.
Bobby Salter, who owns Plain Peanuts, grew up the son of a sharecropper.
Why is it so important to celebrate the peanut?
Peanut is the lifeblood of Georgia, really. The state of Georgia grows as many peanuts as all the other states put together.
Bobby's passion for peanuts is so strong you can actually taste it.
Now I want y'all to try the best ice cream that's in Plains.
I'm gonna like this, I already know.
See if you can recognize that flavor.
Yes, peanut butter.
I was not just being polite. that ice cream was amazing. Then I found out he worked on that recipe for a year.
Peanut butter ice cream and peanut butter pie is like two of my favorite peanut things.
But this is like, you don't scrimp on the peanuts.
And there are some pretty amazing fun facts that highlight the prominence of peanuts here in the U.S. Our love for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich is undeniable. The world's largest weighed in at 1,342 pounds.
When astronaut Alan Shepard brought a peanut with him to the moon, did that make it the first astronaut?
Well played, Rodney. Back at the festival, a long line of people has us feeling confident another delicious Georgia peanut treat is awaiting our discovery.
So you've been bragging about these.
Oh, they are so good.
And it's a first for me, grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I can eat like 10 of these, but I'm not going to today.
No, you're not going to do that today.
Hey, when we come back, did you know the peanut is not a nut at all?
But it makes sense because it has the word nut in it.
Stay tuned for the secret life of peanuts.
But first, a quiz. About how many peanuts does it take to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter? Is it 240 peanuts, 340, 540, or 740? The answer when we come right back. This tasty episode is brought to you by the Georgia Peanut Commission. Before the break, we asked you how many peanuts do you think it takes to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter? The answer? About 540. So if you picked C, you're right.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. Today it's harvest time, just outside the small town of Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Where farmers like Donald Chase are busy uprooting and picking a crave-worthy, crunchy commodity that you may not know grows underground.
Almost nobody knows they grow underground. Explain the process to us.
Well, we plant basically a peanut that you eat. As they start to grow, then the vines will spread out. A nice, pretty little yellow bloom comes on them, and from that bloom, it sends down a peg into the ground, and that peg starts to grow a pod, a peanut pod there, and then they just continue to add those pods on as the plant matures.
And so technically, peanuts aren't nuts. They're legumes?
That's correct, yes.
We're not going to feel bad if we thought it was a nut,
Yeah.
and it's really a bean, right? Because it has the word nut. But a lot of people, or can I just tell, our producer thought they grew on trees.
It's not the first person I've heard to say that.
Because peanuts grow underground, harvesting them requires a unique approach.
First step is to dig the peanuts, and the digger actually inverts them so the peanuts and the roots are sticking up to dry in the sunlight.
So the machine came through and they go up a conveyor and then it flips them over. So now the vines are on bottom and the peanuts are on top. Once those clusters of peanuts are dug and flipped over, it's time to wait about 3 days for the vines to dry out.
Pray for no rain.
Yes, we pray for no rain, no hurricanes. Then we run the pickers, which they pick them off of the vines and leave the pods intact. And it's kind of fascinating to me that the Lord made a storage device for a peanut, and that's its own shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
protects
it stores in that shell for a long time.
Well, until I get it at the baseball game, and then...
At Chase Farms, tending to the peanut crop is a family affair.
Today, my wife is helping me load out trucks. My mom and dad are running the pickers.
And your mom is running a combine, and how
Yes.
old is she?
She's 77. This
She's
is
like my
her
hero.
here,
I can't
so-
wait to meet her.
Well, Jan gets her wish. She joins his mom, Ellen, in one picker. And I ride along with his dad, Glenn Lee, in the other.
Well, I'm impressed you know how to work all those buttons over there.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them.
This is my 67th crop. In 1952, we probably raised 1,000 pounds to the acre.
And what do you get today?
7,190 pounds.
Wow.
Last year, our farm produced the highest yield in the state of Georgia.
High five on that. Yeah. Now, your face lights up every time you hit that button and you start to unload and you see those peanuts pour out.
It just makes sense to have a crop this good for you, and it's something that our family just enjoys.
But could the Chase family possibly enjoy peanuts more than Rodney Miller?
I probably eat 15 times the national average in peanuts,
I've never
maybe
seen
20.
anything like it,
I've
actually.
loved them for years, and they're so healthy, and they keep you from gaining weight. That's what I like about
Except
them.
those chocolate-covered ones you
Well,
get.
yeah, those don't count.
I probably eat a jar of peanut butter every day.
Okay, you got me beat.
This is a small jar. It's a small
He's like,
jar.
not the mega size, not the super size. You know.
And look how thin you are. So it
Well,
works.
it's peanut.
The Chase family is driven by their love of the land and their desire to grow healthful food.
It was legendary scientist George Washington Carver who, through his research in the early 1900s, began to turn the peanut into the cash crop we know today. He is respectfully known as the father of the peanut industry. Born a slave, he was the first black student at Iowa State University, where he earned his bachelor's and master's degrees and became ISU's first black professor.
Because of his work on soil chemistry at the Tuskegee Institute, Carver was instrumental in helping farmers successfully rotate out cotton crops, which depleted the soil of nutrients, with peanuts, which restored the soil.
Mr. Carver's scientific impact is clearly seen in the state of Georgia, where the peanut is the official state crop, supporting more than 50,000 jobs.
Some of this land I'm tending has been in the family for 5 generations.
Wow. Walter Tyler's been working this farm for over half a century. Hey, Bucky.
Rodney?
His son Bucky joined him 26 years ago. Looks like the peanut planting is in full swing.
Yeah, we wide open.
Planting starts in late April or early May when the soil temperature in these Georgia fields reaches between 65 and 70 degrees.
The Tylers till the soil to prepare it for planting.
Oh, man.
They load up seed peanuts from last year's crop
Good looking peanuts.
and plant them in the warm, sandy soil. Georgia has a long, hot growing season. Farmers leave the peanuts in the ground for about 140 days.
So, Walter, what's it like running a family operation and having your son farm with you? And
It makes me feel proud, good, and he's done excellent with it. I might be a fair farmer, but I say he's a good farmer.
Walter is being modest. The Tylers are considered some of the best farmers in this part of Georgia.
when we come back, a sticky situation that's all good. Turning those delicious Georgia peanuts into peanut butter.
Just smash it?
And meet the queen of peanut brittle. You won't believe the flavors she pairs with peanuts.
Chocolate, cinnamon, Cajun.
Stick around. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal, where we're asking the lagoon-loving people at the Plains Peanut Festival how best they like to eat their peanuts.
My favorite thing with peanuts in it is peanut brittle.
Peanut butter ice cream.
Peanut butter jellies.
Snickers.
Chocolate clusters.
Peanut butter milkshake.
Rye roasted peanuts.
Raw peanuts. I love peanuts.
But in the U.S., the #1 way to eat peanuts is in the form of peanut butter. The average American eats 3 pounds of peanut butter every year.
So we visited Georgia Grinders to watch how they turn peanuts into that creamy delight.
Georgia Grinders is actually based off of my grandfather's recipe, focusing on real food, clean ingredients. And Georgia Grinders is a tribute to his innovation towards health and wellness.
And in this Atlanta-based peanut paradise, her grandfather's recipe means keeping it clean and simple. First, you roast the peanuts to perfection. Then you have to cool them down. Next step is grinding them into crunchy, or my favorite, creamy. Finally, you mix in some sea salt, and you've got peanut butter. Who knew something so delicious could be so simple?
Or so good for you. The peanut packs a powerful nutritional punch. Peanuts have more protein than any nut.
They deliver nearly 20 vitamins and minerals per serving. They are a good source of fiber and antioxidants, and peanuts are cholesterol-free.
Back in Plains, we heard a lot about another peanutty treat, peanut brittle, made locally with love by Carrie Gonzalez, the queen of peanut brittle.
So we're supposed to be helping you today. I hope we don't just get in the way.
You won't.
I don't know. You haven't seen us in the kitchen.
Carrie starts with corn syrup, sugar, and a microwave oven.
It's heavy now.
You're right, it's heavy.
Add in a little bit of butter.
You'll mix it around in there.
And quickly mix in peanuts that are halfway between raw and roasted.
You need to stir fast.
Wow.
Get it mixed in there.
She's been doing this 10 years. I've been doing it 10 minutes.
10 seconds.
And back in the microwave for 6 more minutes.
Is there going to be some kind of special quality control supervising what we participated in?
Well, y'all have to eat what you cook.
Oh, we have to eat what we cook.
We're pretty good at that.
Got it. You smell them peanuts?
Oh, yeah.
That much?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Jan's turn to help Carrie turn ordinary to extraordinary.
Yeah, fill it up.
For this batch, Carrie's cooking up her one-of-a-kind watermelon peanut brittle.
It's going to get thick because of that flavoring. So you got to do it kind of fast so it'll fluff up and you can pour it out.
Wow, it smells so good. You can always tell when I get focused because I get quiet, which doesn't happen very often.
Sometimes we have to make rounds. It'll take the whole pan and we sell them just like that.
So it almost looks like a pizza, but better.
How many flavors of peanut brittle do you make?
There's actually 10 different flavors now.
See, I didn't even know there were different flavors of peanut brittle.
Well, see, that's because the peanut brittle queen came up with them.
You came up with them?
Yes.
Did you
Wow.
really? Yes. So can you list them off?
Peanut, pecan, cashew, chocolate, cinnamon, Cajun, strawberry, watermelon, peach, and bacon. Bacon is really good and it actually tastes like bacon. I'm sure y'all want to taste what y'all cooked, right?
Yeah.
So just take it and you can flip it over.
Look at that. That is a beautiful thing.
And then you'll
Just smash it?
not too hard because you don't want it.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Tastes like watermelon.
It sure does.
It does.
That tasted so good, even if Jan and I did help make it.
Somebody said it tastes like a Jolly Rancher.
It does taste like a Jolly Rancher with peanuts. So this is mine.
Anybody's gonna do anything with a peanut creatively, it's gonna happen right here in Plains.
We decided to put our newfound peanut brittle expertise to the test. A taste test. Who can best tell one flavor from the next? Jan or me?
You want to start off with that one?
All right,
Okay.
Jan.
Strawberry.
Watermelon.
Oh.
You missed it.
You can't miss this one.
It's really good.
Strawberry.
Nope. Nope. Your guess is over.
He done lost.
There's a time limit on the guessing.
There's
Now,
not.
that was going to stump you.
I don't know.
Plain
I
flavor.
was gonna say
I was almost
gonna
said
say
that.
Plain. Peach. No, yeah, 1-1. Okay.
Bacon. 2-1. I'm sorry, did I win again?
He wins.
Oh my gosh, I got a sugar high now.
Well, you know what? Since I got to spend the day eating peanut brittle, peanut butter ice cream, and grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I figure I'm a winner too. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal.
You know, I am guessing that for a lot of our viewers, the biggest surprise was that peanuts don't grow on trees or on bushes, but underground.
Yeah, and that they're not a nut at all, they're actually a legume. And it was great to see how Plains, Georgia celebrates the really versatile peanut and the 39th president. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
I think maybe you OD'd on peanuts.
I might have.
I hate losing to Rodney, so I'm going to spill the peanuts on something that happened behind the scenes at the kitchen. He actually burned one of the bowls of peanut brittle.
I'm sorry, was that yours, Rodney?
But it wasn't his fault.
Probably pushed 8 instead of 6.
He didn't have his close-up glasses on.